In this video, we're going to talk about Canon's new C400 camera. Real quick, you're watching VP Land. Special thanks to our sponsors for helping make these videos possible, Blackmagic and Atomos. And now, back to the video. All right, what's up? We're here with Paul from Canon. Paul, good to see you again.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, tell me, we got the C400?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Tell you. All right, yeah. We're pretty excited about
Yeah.
this. All right, so C400s are brand new Cinema EOS camera, right? It's the first kind of box style camera we have that has a native RF mount. And inside that RF mount, we have a full frame 6K back-illuminated stacked CMOS sensor, all right, with a triple base ISO.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
it's pretty crazy, right? So the triple base ISO, we can do base 800, 3200, and 12,800.
Okay.
It really, man, just gives you a bunch of options there for cleaning up your image and stuff like that in your dynamic range. So, yeah.
What are the advantages of having the back-illuminated sensor?
Yeah, good question. So with a back-illuminated sensor, all of the wiring that's normally around the diodes of the sensor get moved to behind them, all right? And so what that allows us to do is to actually, two things. It allows us to get a better angle of view for the micro lenses that are over each diode, right? And that means that with the sensor, we can now have our dual pixel CMOS autofocus 2.
Okay.
All right, that expands the usable size of the image that we can do autofocus on. It used to be 80% coverage, now it's 100% coverage of the entire image.
Okay.
All right.
For where we can have track focus.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we also have a whole bunch of new auto detection features for that. We have body detection for people. We have animal detection.
Okay.
So eyes and body detection for cats and dogs and
Right.
other four-legged creatures. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the next thing about the sensor, right, is when you do a back-illuminated sensor, you can make the readout speed faster. So we've made a full-frame sensor that's a very fast full-frame sensor. It's still rolling shutter, but it's very, very fast. So it negates a lot of the effects of rolling shutter. And it's going to be really helpful for people doing like LED walls or LED lighting type of situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, walk me through what else we've got with the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the few things that we've done here is that we've tried to integrate a lot of like live event inputs and outputs that people use into the camera. I'm going to start on the back here a little bit. We have the standard, 12G SDI, 3G SDI, full-size HDMI output. We've gone with mini XLRs here now, just because we've crammed a whole bunch of stuff into this body. Full-size XLRs would be a little too big.
Can you get power over these? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So we can do phantom power over that. And then we've added these two connectors down here, two DIN connectors.
Okay.
And one of them is a time code. So jamming your time code is going to go through that one. And then the second one is a gen lock, switchable to a return video. And so with return video, it's like if you're in a live kind of shooting situation, they have multiple cameras. You're going to have a feed going from a main switcher board out to this camera into return video. And at the press of a button, you're able to see what the program monitor is showing. So it's a good way.
Okay. So if you're doing a live broadcast or something, you could see the program.
Exactly. A good way. A director would be say like, "Hey, camera 2, take a look at what camera 3 is doing," and boom, you hit the button and it will pop up on there. And so.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's very, very helpful for broadcast type events. One other port that I got to mention is on the front, and that is the 12-pin lens Hiroshi lens terminal. All right. Before, we've had this built into our expansion units for the C500 and C300. Now we're building it directly into the camera body. Okay. All right, so this is for our cine servo lenses and our broadcast lenses. They all get power and information transport through that 12-pin connector.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Another big thing that we've done is redesigned the LCD bracket. All right, before it was a really kind of interesting design. All right, now we've gone with a 15 mil rod, NATO rail style design, and just much, much easier, much more compact and easier to get where you want it to go.
And this is USB-C.
So yeah, that's the next thing. The LCD screen is now a USB-C style connector.
Okay.
So that's going to open up things for third-party companies to do a lot of different cable options
That could
and
control
stuff like
the
that.
camera
Exactly.
through their monitor, third-party monitor.
Yeah, I hope so.
In theory.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. We've added built-in Wi-Fi and a full-size Ethernet port here on the side as well.
And it can do SRT streaming
that's
if you
correct.
wanted to do. Okay. And what are some of the other connectivity options you can do with the
So
Ethernet?
our big one is the Canon XC protocol. So that's the protocol that we use for most of our cinema cameras, the XF605, and all of our PTZ cameras. It's an IP-based system, so you can have all those cameras onto one IP network and control them all from, for one network, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of all the different models, if you had maybe this, but and some PTZ cameras, you could control them all from the same network?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I could have a C300, C500, one of these, a couple of our PTZ cameras, XF605, all in a situation and all coming down to the same network hub and all controlled from one device, such as like our MCCA app, which is our multi-camera control app, or our RCIP1000 controller.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, tell me about media options to record to and kind of what format,
Yes.
codecs and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Let's swing it back around here. We got the card slot here. We got one CF Express Type B card and one SD card.
Okay.
The CF Express Type B is going to be for all of your internal RAW recording. Yeah, you can go 6K, 4K, and 2K RAW in full frame, Super 35, and then Super 16, respectively. And so you record all of that to the CF Express, and all the other codecs that we have, XFAVC, XFAVCS, XFHEVCS, can all be reported to the SD card as well. So you can use that as a proxy as well. If you're recording RAW to the CF Express card, record proxies to the SD card.
Okay.
So a lot of options for recording there. You just can't record the RAW to the SD card.
Tell me about the metadata with some of the different format options that you can retain.
Yes, yeah. So this kind of goes along with our new codecs, right? So we have two new codecs in the camera, XFHEVCS and XFAVCS. Okay. Right? HEVCS is an H.265 based codec, so you can get some like really nice 12 high bit depth, but really low data rates because of that. XFAVCS is an H.264 based codec, but both of them are both .mp4 wrapper files, right? Okay. Before, MP4 wrapper files never retained the naming structure, file structure, or the metadata from any of our previous codecs. Right? So now they all contain the same metadata and the same file names. So I can use any of those formats as proxies, as sub-reporting, and it will match my RAW files and it will match my XFAVC files as well.
And retain the metadata like where your lens, your settings, all of
Exactly. Retain the metadata through all of it. Yep.
And then can you tell me what stabilization options?
So it does have digital stabilization. Okay. And that's very much like the C300 and the C500 had. So there's an option you can go on. It's only for XFAVC and the XFHEVCS and the AVCS as well. You can't do it in RAW, but essentially it's a little bit of a crop into the sensor. But we do have an option in there now that is to basically turn off motion vector tracking. So this is useful for if you're shooting a subject and you're just hand holding and you're steady there. If the subject is moving, the camera won't try to compensate for the movement of that subject, which might be something that trips up a lot of digital image stabilization systems. So now I can turn that on and off. If I was walking around, I'd want to have that turned on so that I would have that tracking going on. But if I'm just standing still with the camera and there's other things moving in it, then I want to turn that off. So
and pricing and availability?
Yeah, it is going to be $7,999 US. All right. And available in September.
All right. Awesome, Paul. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Good to see you.
And that's it for this video. Be sure to check out the rest of our Cinegear coverage over here and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode.